Hello and welcome to Intelligent Business, a webinar for the IBM professional who is looking to improve analytical capabilities and more besides. My name is Andrew Nicholson and I'll be your host and main presenter for today's event. Today we'll be covering the many aspects of business intelligence for IBM. We'll ask why invest in business intelligence, investigate the benefits of business intelligence, and provide short but informative demonstrations throughout. Before we start, a little bit of housekeeping. For your questions, please tweet us at @IAskBob or at Utilities400 and use the BI and the IBMI hashtag. Now, we may not be able to get to these until after the webinar, so please take note. To join the live discussion, use the Management Console, and you should find this somewhere on the right-hand side of your screen. Within this, you can find the Questions tab, and please feel free to open this up and ask a question. We'll have a Q&A session at the end of the webinar. Finally, if you've missed something or wanted to walk through the demonstration again, don't worry, we are recording this event and you'll receive a link to the video within the next 48 hours. That's it for housekeeping, so pour yourself a coffee, pull up a chair, grab the popcorn as this 30-minute session is about to begin. Let's start by investigating the need for business intelligence. Now, a recent study commissioned by Teradata surveyed over 1,000 line of business executives and IT professionals in 22 countries on this simple question. As information grows, the need for organizations to manage it and make it actionable grows as well. Getting that information in a timely manner and to the right people in the right places throughout an organization is an important means to enterprise success. Here's a snapshot of today's information management needs according to the survey. First, the amount of information that's available is growing rapidly. This is a good thing. As more systems are put into place and more data is generated, the underpinning information is already there to support decision making. The problem comes with viewing and dissecting the information we need in a meaningful format that we can actually use. Does it feel that you can't see the wood for the trees? Information overload is a natural progression from a rapid rise in information. Is there a definitive version of the truth? And what impact do these figures have over those? Too much information without the correct tools to analyze and disseminate can render the information useless and indeed an obstacle for day-to-day business. For example, if you're looking for a needle in a haystack, wouldn't a metal detector be useful? For operations in particular, real-time or near-time access to analytics is a business imperative. To understand the ebb and flow of day-to-day business information to support better business decisions is critical in an increasingly competitive world, as is the ability to build stronger, more robust and mutually beneficial relationships with your business stakeholders. Now, these may be internal with your executives, having to access more pertinent information on their iPads, their Galaxy phones and the like, or building business portals for your partners or suppliers. The fact is, we have information within our IBM enterprise, and we should leverage this as part of our strategy to build more profitable and mutually beneficial relationships. So the need for more clarity and the ability to disseminate the growing volumes of information become apparent. But how do I translate these barriers into real business benefits? Well, the research highlighted 10 key areas for adopting business intelligence. You see, business intelligence provides deeper insight into your businesses. It streamlines your budgets. It supports planning and, especially important in these current economic climates, optimizes cash flow and increases profitability. In addition, a good BI system will help aid better decisions and support collaboration, plus improve customer service and satisfaction. Improved customer service and satisfaction really Can this be a function of business intelligence too? Well, yes. If we can collect information against customers and understand their needs, wants, order patterns, most popular products and services, annual spend and the like, we can better predict what the customer requires and as such, better service their requirements through forecast and planning. And wouldn't it be better if we could suggest new products and services just by filtering pertinent information to identify appropriate fit? Now, all this should be completed over your existing data and with the analytics and value added coming from the BI solution itself. But what about this value added? What if we could use a BI solution to create a portal for our customers to log into to ask customer support questions and the like? Well, we can do this with native BI tools as well. And herein comes our first demonstration. Allow me just to log in to a customer portal. Now, in this particular example, we're saying that I am a customer of Nicholson's of Liverpool. So I'm going to log in as a partner or a customer of theirs with my user ID. And immediately I see a portal that's designed around my requirements. Depending upon who I am, depends upon what I see. And indeed, we can have what we call session variables. So depending upon what we see here with the welcome, and it shows a picture of, well, in this case, Paul Smith, that could change depending upon who logs in. Ideally, perhaps it could be a customer logo. In addition, we've also got web widgets in here. So I've got a Google map down here that I can zoom in and zoom out of. And I also have the live weather, which isn't looking too good moving on through the week. And indeed, a live time and date feed there as well. Perhaps more importantly for the IBM iEnterprise is that we have links to various reports or cubes that they can analyze, and indeed a live view into the IBM iDatabase itself that shows information that's pertinent to themselves. In this particular case, information that's from the knowledge base, which is questions that have been answered by the customer support team. Speaking of which, why don't we go ahead and ask customer support a question? So I'll say I'm going to ask sales, and I'm going to ask what would the cost of ASD item be in pounds? And then I simply submit that. Now, by pressing submit, what I'm doing is actually physically writing back to the IBM iDatabase direct from the web portal. This is extremely powerful, as not only are we able to retrieve information in real time from the IBM i, but also write directly back to it. It's all secure. We could add validation routines in there. Now, what we notice in the knowledge base here is that because this is real time, as soon as I submitted that, it updated the knowledge base here. And that's what it was asked on at 3:05. Has it been answered yet by customer support? No. In fact, let's do just that and answer that particular question. So I'll log off and log in using exactly the same web address. But instead of using P. Smith, who is the customer or partner, I'm going to use J. Small. And J. Small is our customer service representative. Now, you remember I said that depending upon who I am depends upon what I see. And you'll notice that welcome up here with the graphic is changed to reference J. Small's picture. And indeed, the whole portal itself has changed as well because, well, of course, I'm in a different department. I want to see different things. As I'm a customer service representative, I just want to see those items relating to customer questions that have come from those customers. So here's that. Have I answered it? No. And so what I need to do is click to drill down to that particular item and respond. So I'll respond by saying that and update the record. So that's now been updated. And just to verify that, if I go back to log in as P. Smith, that should have been updated in our knowledge base. Now, what's really powerful about this as well is that not only are we writing back to the database, and we're not putting on dumb data, of course, but if I wanted to, I could say, well, when I send these questions in through the portal, also send an email to make it more pertinent. So the email could have that question in or the response of that question, or equally, it could have a link in that would link directly to a response to that question. It's entirely up to you. So here we are, the knowledge base has been updated. It was asked at that time, has it been answered? Yes. And to view the results of that, I simply click on that and I see the information accordingly. So very quick but very powerful, different ways of using native IBM real-time processing and web portals. Very powerful stuff. And indeed, this is the same type of technology that publishers, book publishers, Gill and Macmillan have used. They created a portal, a business intelligence portal for their partners to log into and see information pertinent themselves. And they had options here to drill down to various levels. So if they wanted to see sales by title, they could see all the information on stock that they had in their warehouse. And then I could click on a link there and drill down to that particular item and see the title of the book. Now what makes this very powerful is that because we're right down to line items here, the ISBN number in this particular case is unique to that book. So what we could do is link media to that particular line item or field within the database. And we can link media. This could be video, it could be a PDF, it could be a spreadsheet, or in this case, it's a graphic, it's a picture of the book itself. So a very extremely powerful way of being able to link various bits of media with native parts from the IBM I. So powerful ways of being able to use the data in different ways. So what we see is real-time transactions that benefit both the customer and the IBM I enterprise. Not only are we able to provide business portals, but can make good use of the transactional data once we've received our question from the customer. Not only is our customer services portal updated, but we can also send an email confirmation or email or FTP a report within a spreadsheet. We can send a PDF statement, of course, formatted with your own corporate images, XML, and the list goes on. Now, for me, that's what I call intelligent business. But going back to BI itself and looking at the conceptual view of BI starting from the bottom up with capture. During the brief demonstration, we saw in real time how we could capture information and deliver it via the web portal. So next up is collate, and we'll cover collate a little later as there's a debate about warehousing and the need for this within the IBM enterprise, as there is new technology that is native to the OS that could negate the need for this. But there are other areas of business intelligence that you should expect from your BI solutions. First, with operational insight, the ability to see pertinent information in real time presented through meaningful statistics. So, charts and graphs. This could be via a portal, as just demonstrated, or a management dashboard. We'll have a look at these in a couple of minutes. Next is strategic intelligence, precise analytics for budgetary and performance purposes, and then tactical analysis for predictive and trend analysis. And we'll start here. Within our enterprise is all the information we need to create detailed forecasting and demand planning. But what is demand forecasting and planning anyway? Well, DFP, or demand forecasting and planning, is a business process that involves predicting future demand for products and services and aligning product and distribution capabilities accordingly. The key to good forecasting is consistent accuracy, as this will help companies set correct inventory levels. For example, avoiding overstocks and out-of-stocks where forecasts are consistently higher than actual sales, inventory levels will rise. Where they are consistently lower, issues with service levels will become more frequent. The key is to have the information to hand to make these correct decisions. Now, a fully versed DFP system can distill normally complex and time-consuming tasks in which we see on the screen into just a few clicks through visual analysis and interaction. So how do we go about this? Well, if I go back to a portal, let's go into a different one, and I'll load up the DFP interface. And again, this is all browser-based. So I'll log in to the DFP, I'll sign in here, and it will sign into an entirely different dashboard. Now, what we're seeing here is demand forecast planning based upon a particular item. But equally, this could be for perhaps a build of a certain item, demand for a particular item of stock. Now what we can do is see the trend of orders for this particular item, and it allows us to grow that forecast into the new year. So this is, on this side in the white is the reality, the real situation. And moving forward, we're planning and forecasting based upon the previous results. What's really powerful here is that because, and I'm growing it now to year 2 and year 3, because we can visualize all the data, it means that we can put in variance. Now, for example, if we just used the data and went on into forecasting, then the item here, this little white cross towards the top, just over the 800, then that would be part of the calculations. Through visual analysis, I can say, well, I know that why is that there? I could click on it, drill down, and see all the information appertaining to that. And I find that this is an anomaly, a one-off order. And hence, if I added this to the calculations for forecasting, it would skew my forecast into the following year. So the ability to click on individual items and take them out of the planning is a really powerful way of doing that. And the only way that we can do that is through a visual representation of that data. So very, very powerful ways of being able to do different things with data. More pertinent to our audience today, however, will be the broadsheet that is operational insight. And we'll take a little bit more time with this subject to show you how easy it should be to build and deploy real-time operational dashboards throughout the enterprise. We'll start by showing you how simple it should be to build and deploy OLAP cubes before moving into a live demonstration of the cubes to be built within the dashboard itself. Now there are 6 steps to creating a cube using this particular software that you're using today, ShowMe. These are listed on the left. Now don't worry, 4 of these are automated machine steps, so we'll only have time to worry about 2. First, we add the cube parameters, the name and the libraries to be used. The next step is to define the structure. This process can be automated or manually overridden. At this point, we decide if the cube is fixed or variable. A fixed cube is one which you start at a certain point and drill down to fixed given points, much like going up and down a ladder. A variable cube gives the user the ability to start anywhere and drill anywhere, ideal for consumer-led activities. We now move to define the measurements at each level of the drill down, starting with level 1 and moving to level 2, so we're analyzing here by month and then drilling down to week. But you can specify what you want with as many cube analysis levels as you so wish. Once we've created the levels, the system is intelligent enough to automatically create a set of logical files to drill down efficiently between the levels. We can create a procedure to populate the cube. This system automatically suggests population criteria using its logic engine, plus the parameters provided earlier, but these can be overridden if required also. Then it'll go through the field values automatically if the cube is being generated for the first time. For each field, we have a wealth of options for analysis and conditions. For example, plus, minus, maximum, minimum, average, etc. In here, we can define an expression to control the population of the cube. There is no limit to how many ifs and thens and elses can be added to each field. In this example, we're simply adding order quantity at each level of the cube. Once completed, the system will self-generate. It produces its own ILE RPG program to populate the cube using rules just as specified. It's extremely fast, robust, but light technology on your server. In addition, it automatically generates the definitions or instructions needed to drill through the data. The only thing you need to do is to specify descriptions, so it's easy and quick. So once we've created the cube, it's a simple process of passing the analytical window into our dashboard. Let's go back to the example that we saw earlier within the Nicholson's portal. You remember that this portal is a live system that drills down and displays information from the IBM I that's pertinent to ourselves. So now, while I showed earlier the ability to transact with the database and put transactions onto the IBM I itself and be able to view those in real time, what we have over here is a drill down to various reports that we have on the system. For example, this is the report that we created in the cube just moments ago. So the ability to create cubes quickly and accurately and also analyze those with speed is a very powerful one, and it only could be native with using the IBM I. So let's have a look at the order history. I've got 2 years there. You'll notice as I hover over there that I could drill down by month or by year. So let's start with 2012 and drill down. And now I can see I'm now looking at by month, and it's telling me that my next drill down level is by item. Or if I go to order quantity, I could drill down by customer. And there's the line values there also. So let's drill down by item and go and have a look at all these various items. Now, not only do we have the ability to show more than the 10 items that you perhaps would run just if it was on a green screen, because I can scroll through here, but at any point we have the ability to export to Excel. So I'll say the table, but we could choose, for example, all the records or just the records on page. I'll say all the records, and I'll generate that. And then it goes off and populates a spreadsheet. Now, the really powerful thing about this is that not only can we generate a spreadsheet, which is all very well and nice, but we can also populate it with macros. So once we open the spreadsheet, we are seeing information in a meaningful manner. So for example, we could add the pivot tables and perhaps a graph and so on and so forth. And this is all the information exported to Excel very quickly, very easily. So very powerful, very easy to use. And again, this kind of thing with exporting to Excel can be done at any point during the analysis. So all very nice, being able to see all those line items and drilling down in a fixed manner, this is, to and from. But what happens if I wanted to view this in a visual way? Well, let's have a look at this in an entirely different manner. Again, it's the same results, the same data, but it's just populating a graph. In this case, it's a bar chart. Could be any chart that you wanted. Now, the colors, you'll be happy to hear, again, these entirely user-definable, and you can have pinks, you can have all the colors of the rainbow if you like, and the same goes for all different graph types, from scatter graphs, bar charts, whatever it may be. Choose the one that's most pertinent to the data that you're trying to show. And again, I could click down and drill down to various line items from there. It's a very quick and powerful way of being able to visualize it. And one thing that I didn't mention actually is that this portal here can be developed for, well, pretty much any device that you want, from PCs to iPads and Galaxy phones these days too. So what we saw in that demonstration was the ability to create drill downs and deploy the cube to dashboard. It was quick, simple, but powerful. But what's the real difference between results in, say, a standard query and something cube-based? Well, I look at it this way. It's really about perspective, 2D versus 3D. Do you want to review flat data or have the ability to see your data from different angles and compare it with distant statistics? Query offers static information called from the database, while cube-based OLAP reports provides summary data and generates rich calculations. For example, OLAP answers questions such as, how do sales from mutual funds in North America for this quarter compare with sales a year ago? What can we predict for the next quarter? What is the trend as measured by a percentage change? But almost as important as the analytical methodology is the sourcing of the information plus the delivery method. Why? Well, this is a very basic schematic of traditional BI. Your traditional provider would perhaps recommend that once a day you port all the information you require to mine out of the IBM I to an SQL warehouse for users who would interrogate. This would normally require a client program that would have to be run on a PC. In addition, you'd purchase a set amount of licenses. Now, you may purchase seats for your current business needs. You may purchase seats due to budget. Whatever the criteria, you're limiting your intelligence potential. Key here is the static nature of the data being ported from the live system. You're limited with the amount of people who can view the information at any one time, and we're always looking at old information. But what if the rules were rewritten and we didn't have these barriers? What we need is a native and sophisticated business intelligence tool that provides real-time browser-based analytics from slice and dice cube interrogation, plus B2B portal creation, and some application development and simplification thrown on top of that too. We should be able to remove the barriers of user limitation and allow you to dispose of a PC client. Enjoy technology that allows you to view your intelligence on anything that supports a browser. And be intelligent about it too. So depending upon what device you're running, depends upon what dashboard you see. So if you're a CEO on the way to a meeting, you can view the information in your BlackBerry, you're on a train, analyze on your iPad, in the office, then view through your browser on your PC. And we want more. We should be able to enjoy technology that's written for us, the IBM I Enterprise. Technology that's leveraging the power of the I platform. Simply speaking, we should be seeing data in real time, not sometime. As we illustrated on the last slide, we should be able to negate the need to build data warehouses, thus ensuring zero risk of security breach, plus reducing database overheads. If we can leverage this technology, then surely we can analyze data in speeds far improved over conventional warehouse cube-based query processing. And as a result, we're providing one version of the truth, so you're always analyzing the most up-to-date information. Perhaps more importantly, we're not limiting your enterprise through restrictive concurrent licenses. One enterprise license will grow with your requirements. Should your business needs grow, there's no need to purchase more seats. Simply deploy more instances without worry. Again, this lowers IT overheads and ongoing costs. Now, is there a technology that can complete all this? Well, yes, and you won't be surprised to hear that we've been using this solution within this demonstration, and that solution is ShowMe. And we should use this as a beacon on what to look at for within your BI selection criteria. And we recommend you use this checklist with at least the above representative. Real-time analytics with the negation of having to port information from the IBM I for one version of the truth. One enterprise license with unlimited seats and sessions with thin client delivery for fully compatible delivery for mobile devices. So there's no invasive or incompatible Flash or Java components used. B2B portals and application development through integrated WYSIWYG Design Studio. Why? Well, it's important that your portals and dashboards are professional as well as functional. So we can create stunning portals and GUIs or dashboards from pre-supplied templates, your own corporate image, or from a blank canvas. It's entirely your choice. You can select a resolution or device and to design for, and add your own custom images, web widgets, graphs, inquiries, buttons. And speaking of buttons, we have a complete control over the AS400 by creating custom buttons that will pass parameters, run RPG, commit and update records and the like. We can process a 5250 function key, export to Excel, pretty much whatever you want. Now, should you wish a more detailed view of the ShowMe Design Studio, please let us know and we'll arrange for a separate demonstration or trial. Indeed, we'll be having a webinar during early July on application development, which will be using this Design Studio for these very purposes. So please keep a lookout for that within our social media and press release. Speaking of upcoming webinars, and before we move to the Q&A session, please join us for 2 new IBM I episodes from the Ask Bob as part of our summer session series of web events. Later this month, we'll have our integration webinar. Join us to learn out how to automate integration solutions that will complement your modernization and BI strategy. Registration is open and more dates for July are to be added, so keep up to date by joining our Utilities 400 LinkedIn group. We also have a modernization webinar that demonstrates modernization techniques using our sister technology to ShowMe, ModernEye. It's really exciting stuff, and should you be interested in modernizing your green screen applications, this really is a must-attend webinar. So nearly bang on the money with time, I'd like to take this opportunity of thanking you again for joining us. Again, this is only a short half-hour session, Any one of these elements, including cube delivery and designing of a portal and business analytics, could take an hour of your time alone. But as a good introduction, we feel we encapsulated quite a bit. But please do send your comments to us using our Twitter feed at utilities400 and at isbob, or send me an email at anicholson@uti400. Now we do have one question, and the question came from David Jenkins, and he asked if he noticed that on the cube design it wasn't green screen, but it seemed to come from the AS400. Yes, in fact, that was using our modernization suite, which we'll be going into a little bit more detail in a webinar in a couple of weeks' time, so please keep an eye out for that. Again, we're right out of time, just stretching past the half-an-hour mark here, but please do keep your questions coming in. Email me directly at anicholson@uti400.com. But from myself and on behalf of Utilities 400 and ISBOB, thank you for joining us, and I wish you a very good day. Goodbye.